Hi, Jessica.
Who the hell are you?
The woman who's going to save your life.
Welcome to Know Her Is to Fear Her, the Spider-Woman podcast. We're your hosts, Seren and Rey, and this is episode 51.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Seren, it's great to hear you again, and it's great to be back. We've got a little bit of catching up to do, but 51. My gosh, we're on the second half of the century. It's cool.
Yeah. Wow. Time flies when you're having fun. It was really hard for me not to just kind of rock out to our intro this morning. It's early. I am not properly caffeinated. It's really not that early, but I am still not properly caffeinated.
Oh, you need your coffee definitely in the morning. I'd rely on it to a dangerous level. It is heading
Yeah.
late at night here as well. But that's okay. All good. I feel like I do my best work at night, Seren.
Yeah, you know what? Me too.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
That's fair. I am definitely not like, I can wake up early, but I do not have a functioning brain till afternoon.
Yeah, a bit of a diesel. Takes me a bit of a while to get
Yeah,
mode.
so if I start speaking backwards or anything, or my sentences are out of order, that's why.
Well, if you hear that, listeners, then just play the recording backwards, and then LD understand Seren. But yeah, I mean, Seren, it is great to be back here. I mean, so much Spider-Woman action has happened lately. Before that, of course, a big thank you to all our Spider Baby patrons. Geez, you guys are just so good. Thank you so much for sticking with us. And I want to give a shout out to Dr. Carlos as well. Seren has been quite
Yes.
active in the Spider-Woman community, and always gives us a shout out as well when we drop an episode. So just really appreciate it, and just love interacting with all the fans as well.
Yes, and speaking of fans, Spider Babies, Rustin and Jess, I have not forgotten your sweatshirts. They're coming to you.
Yes.
I'm trying to gather some extra goodies to send your way.
Yeah.
With them. So they are a little bit delayed, more than a little bit delayed, but they are coming to you. I promise. I have them. They are coming. So
yes, Seren's physically got them.
Shouting that out
Yes.
to my two Spider Babies who are getting them.
Yeah. But I mean, also as well, I mean, I've seen Jess recently. Have you been on X lately, Seren, or like do you like
on and off?
Yeah.
Not on. I'm neglected the Spider-Woman daily Twitter account. Sorry. I've been off and on. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I've been away a little bit on it. So I came back recently, and I saw a slew of Jess's tweets. So it looks pretty cool what Jess is up to, and a shout out to one of our valued Spider Babies as well. But
all the cool things Jess is doing.
I know. I had to respond to.
I have seen what. I have seen some of those, which is pretty badass.
Yeah. And we do. I mean, so Sonia, we do have a couple of issues this episode. Just shooting that up on. We do have a video, so if you do have access to the video, Seren and I will go through these comics. We'll flick through the pages so you can actually see what we're referring to. But for those listening, yes, we are referring to the pages up on screen. So if that's confusing while you listen, I don't know. But yes, Seren, we're doing issues 4 and 5.
Yeah.
I
have some interesting things to say about those issues.
I'm very keen to hear what you have to say. Actually, for both of them, they're two very different issues, I think.
Yes, 100%. It's very clear between the two of them that 5 is just kind of a intermediate issue before we jump into 6, which comes out this Wednesday.
Yes. Yeah, actually, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, geez, we are playing catch up. We've got to get through these two by Steve Fox and Carol Borelli. But yeah, we are going to get a new arc in issue 6. And you rightly said Seren. Um, issue 5 is, I mean, we'll get to it, I guess, as well.
Yes.
Do you want to actually, before we get into that, any news like you have come across,
I
Seren? I know you're
am
always you always got the finger in
so
the
ill
pulse.
prepared today. I have not checked the news, Spider Babies. If there's any news, throw it my way. I have been so out of the loop with a lot of things in my life.
Oh, Seren, can I ask,
So
just really, really kind of off a bit of a tangent, did you watch Madame Webb? Have you seen it?
I never went to see it.
I didn't see it as well. That's weird, but
Never went. At the time it came out, was a super busy time at work, and I'm always busy at work, but
Mhm.
that time, when that came out, that particular time of year, there are several extremely busy times of year at my job, and that was one of them. So I did not
Right,
go.
yeah.
Now I have heard things. Some people were like, if you just go and don't expect anything,
Mm.
it's not a bad movie.
Yep.
Except that it's disappointing because apparently, spoilers, they are only in their suits for like 25 seconds.
Yeah, that's I can kind of understand if it's like, the way that they're kind of angling it. It's an origin story, so it's kind of how they got the suits at the end. But you can't help but be a
Yeah.
little bit disappointed, I'd think, if you go to a comic book superhero movie, expecting some action and it doesn't happen towards the end. But yeah, I mean, like, I haven't seen it as well, so I can't be too judgmental. Similar to you, I've heard like so much negativity on it, but I've heard one of my friends has watched it and said, "Look, it's not that bad. Like it's not
Yeah.
good, but it's not bad." So.
I'm wondering because of some comments from Dakota Johnson, because here's the thing.
Yeah.
That was a pretty stacked cast for a movie. Like, there were some really good actresses in that movie.
Yeah.
So I don't think the actresses were the problem. I think they're probably, and this is just my this is just my theory with how these things go. I
Yeah.
have a feeling that there was probably a lot of meddling from executives.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I also feel like whenever the executives get their hands in a movie and don't let the directors do what they do, they just fuck it up. And
Yeah.
sometimes I think this is just me because I'm a paranoid person, and I think they probably wanted the movie to fail,
Oh.
so they meddled.
Oh,
to make sure
really?
it failed.
Wow.
That's my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I have no anything to go on by that.
Yeah.
But I have feelings that sometimes when something is an unexpected hint and then they go, oh, they feel they need to get their fingers into the pie, when them leaving their fingers out of the pie is what made it good in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
So I have a feeling it could have been a better movie if it's like the Wonder Woman, because that's what happened with Wonder Woman, and I have a feeling that might have. Well, no, the second Captain Marvel movie was actually very good.
Yeah.
But it happened with Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman did so well, and then they had so much interference from WB executives on the second movie. Like, and I can't help but feel like it was on purpose.
Well, it's so funny because it's almost like I don't know, like a running thing that every comic book fan like knows that if you get the studio meddling in it, they're going to stuff it up, and time again that's proven. So, I think there's some credence in what you're saying if they intentionally doing that, because like we all, it's almost like common knowledge, I guess, of what I'm saying, like for the fans that. The moment the studio kind of gets their fingers in and starts doing stuff, the moment it just fails. It has for the last 25 years. I don't know why they still do it unless they intentionally do it. My friend was very similar to you, Seren. He did say that, yeah, there's nothing wrong with the actors. Like, they delivered fine. The script was more of the problem, which again I think is due to rewrites and all that. And Dakota Johnson also said, I think in an article or in an interview, along the lines of like, when she was on board, like she thought it was pretty good, but she then said, yeah, executives, when they start changing it into something that you don't recognize from when you signed on, that's really disappointing. And that's kind of what
sounds like that's what happened.
Yeah. But why?
That's what she said, then
yeah.
I'm right.
Yeah, I don't understand why they would do that. I mean, they're trying to. You'd think that they are trying to make it a better film, but again, track record.
Because
they always
I have
stuff it
a
up.
feeling they do always stuff it up, and I think it's in particular with the female hero-led movies because I don't think, and I think I think there's a lot of misogyny in it. That they don't like that women like superheroes, and we do, and it's okay if a woman likes like Spidey or Captain America or Doctor Strange, but the minute a woman likes another woman superhero, that seems to be a problem. And
that's just ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, because they're losing money. They're willing to lose millions and millions of dollars. Like, you know, theoretically, Madame Webb could have done like a whole lot better, right? If you know, maybe
I was actually really excited for the movie.
Yeah, I remember us talking about it and going, look, no expectations, just going to walk in, going to just enjoy it, and then it's just
But
hard.
I haven't seen it, so I'll probably like it. But
yeah, I don't know. It was just.
But also I think other fans, and maybe it's not even like the executives meddle, yes, but I also think there are other fans out there that are mad that there are women superheroes and that people like those women superheroes, so they go on smear campaigns and organize themselves into like smear campaigns, and they'll bomb a movie on Rotten Tomatoes before it even goes out. And it's not just women superheroes, it's a lot of other movies that might be more progressive or forward thinking. And they go on smear campaigns to bomb the movie. And apparently, from what I understand, Captain Marvel on Disney Plus is like one of the most watched movies over on Disney Plus. So
yeah, I've heard something about.
I think something about the timing of that movie coming out. Not that, again, I am no expert in this.
So are you talking about the original Captain Marvel or
the second one?
The Marvels. Yeah, apparently that's done really well. Yeah.
I love that movie. That movie is just a good movie. It's like a warm hug. Because how can you not love Kamala Khan and Carol Danvers and did she say Photon? Was she going by Photon? Was Maria going by Photon at the end of that movie? I can't remember.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
I don't know either, but there are a lot of implications to the ending of that movie, and I'm just like, all right, I'm here for it. Let's see what you do, Disney.
Yeah. I mean, look, without getting too far down this rabbit hole, I mean, you have
sorry.
No, but like no, totally fine, Seren. We've got a lot of catching up, but with Wonder Woman, right? The first one.
Yeah.
So
first one was fantastic.
Yeah, so
I love that movie, and I'm not a DC person. Like, I don't like DC very much. But I went to the Wonder Woman movie because I was going to support the Wonder Woman movie. But it was a fantastic movie. I loved that.
So how come they didn't stuff that up? I wonder. Like, I don't understand, because they show that they can.
I mean, it did make a lot of money.
Yeah, one of the most successful DC EU movies. And then
I think they were mad that it did better than Batman.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a really good movie, and then again they stuffed up the second one. I don't know, sequels. Yeah. This one, this studio comes in. We want more of this. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it baffles
who knows?
me.
I'm not a studio executive. What do I know? I know nothing.
I'm kind of glad, Seren. I don't know if this is controversial amongst the Spider-Woman fan community. I'm kind of glad then that Jess wasn't in Madame Webb. Can I say that?
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I would have been really upset.
Yeah, because now, she's not associated with, unfortunately.
I will say this, though.
Yeah.
Even though Jess in Into the Spider-Verse is not the Jessica Drew we know and love, the name is now more familiar.
Yeah.
To Spider fans.
Yeah.
So if we ever do eventually get and actually that is some news, that Jessica Drew from that movie, I think, is getting a comic coming out this summer.
Awesome.
I do believe she is actually getting a comic. Now that I'm remembering, I think she's getting a comic.
Okay.
But the Jess that we know and talk about, when she eventually shows up, and I hope she does, but I still think Disney and Sony are having a little bit of a tug of war with her. When she does, people will know her better because of Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
So, that's even though she wasn't well received in Into the Spider-Verse, some people like her. And she's got a big ship going with Miguel right now, which I sit there and I go, oh, you people, you need to read her comic books because that ain't happening. But some people don't like her because of how she was in Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
But either way, even though they might not like her, at least they know the name, and then they can be like, okay, so this is a different iteration of Jess, so maybe,
yes,
and then they'll see how.
And then they'll kind of explore potentially, the real, the original. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, I love Was it across? Did you say across the Spider-Verse into the
It was I said Into the Spider-Verse, but it was across the
across? Yeah,
Spider-Verse.
yeah. That was a
Yeah.
great film.
I,
Same with
I, I
Deadpool.
actually really like that iteration of Jessica, and I'm glad because
Oh, I
she was
liked her
based
as
so
well.
heavily on the Dennis Hopeless version.
Yeah,
So
yeah. No, I liked her as well.
I liked her. I thought they did a pretty good job with her.
Yeah. No, for
And her
all
badass motorcycle. I love that Jess has a motorcycle.
yeah.
Her and Black Widow. That's great.
For all the the little slight differences, she was really good. I
Yeah.
thought so. Yeah,
Yep.
totally enjoyed it. Saren, we should get into these awesome
should.
comics. So let me just, for those watching, get it up onto the screen. There we go.
All right, gang war.
Yes.
It's been a hot minute since I've read this, so this is going to be real organized today, guys.
Oh, it's all right. Well, I'm hoping the prompts, the pages can help us. Let me just get some stuff here.
Yeah, I need
So,
to make this bigger so I
yeah,
can
can
actually
you-
read it. I got new glasses,
Okay.
so
Nice. Would
Very
you be able
excited.
to? I mean, we haven't formalized the credits or anything like that, but would be able to give the
Sure.
credits.
Sure. So this is a Spider-Woman #4, written by Steve Fox with art by Carola Borelli and colorist Arif Prianto. Letters by VC Jose Sabino. And the cover was by Lionel Francis Yu and Sunny Go. We have variant covers by Stephanie Hans. That is a beautiful cover.
Yeah.
Todd Nelk and Rochelle Rosenberg, also a very good cover.
Yep.
And Greg and Tim Hildebrand. I don't know if I have that one.
Okay. No, I don't have that one either.
So we have Mr. Daniel, assistant editor. Ellie Pyle is the editor. Nick Lowe, the executive editor, and C.B. Cebulski as the editor in chief.
Yeah.
So where we left off, I think, was the reveal of who Green Mamba was.
The big one.
And this issue is the fallout of that. And
Basically, yeah. Overall impressions, though. What did you? Before we get into that, I should obviously preface to all the listeners, spoilers ahead. So yeah, we'll be getting into it. But yeah, overall, Seren, what did you make? This is the follow up to that big reveal.
Well, I called it because I remember we discussed how, if they could keep, if Hydra can keep someone in stasis for however long Jess was. I mean, who's to say they couldn't age somebody up? So, yep, they did. He's blonde like his mama. He's got blue eyes though, which is interesting, but he's got just his powers.
And he's like obviously and amply brainwashed. Like he's really against his mom.
He's very against his mother, and he is deep into the Hydra Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
For sure. And he gives Jess a pretty sound trouncing here, as a matter of fact, because she obviously does not want to fight her baby boy. But he has no qualms going up against Mama Dearest.
It kind of, that level, Saren, as well, of it kind of echoing the past as well. So that's got to hurt Jess as well. It's kind of like she sees it in Gerry. She had similar, experiences with Hydra, and to see it in her son, and her son obviously brainwashed, would really kind of put her in a spin. And I guess that's why she's obviously not defending herself as well as him being the son. So yeah, everything's kind of working against her here.
Yep. We do get a little bit of a flashback about how Hydra picked him up.
Yeah, which is really weird, right? Because remember, the Web of Life and Destiny, Gerry was wiped out of existence. So they just kind of got him on a blip, right? They were looking for potentially superpowered like anomalies or something, or energy readings, and he comes up, and then they were just surprised that he was just in an apartment and no one was there, and they just picked him up and off they went.
Yeah, off he went. No Lindsay, no Jess. And I think that's kind of something that's a little upsetting to me about this whole thing, is it's like Lindsay never happened, and I'm sad about it. But anyway,
yeah.
I really liked where Carla was going in that last issue. I mean, they were going to Madripoor, but whatever.
Yeah,
it's fine.
And you just kind of wonder also as well, like as an aside, like how many other kids or people have Hydra kidnapped similar to this.
Oh yeah, right.
That could
A
be
lot apparently.
yeah,
From the sounds of it,
racking up their
like they have.
assassins. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they've got a whole. Oh, look at all those brains. I don't remember that panel.
Oh yeah, that was
Uh,
weird. I remember reading and watching this, just going, oh my god, this is a bit,
yeah,
grotesque.
yeah. But I did call it because like if they can keep one, they can absolutely accelerate the growth of a kid. So that does not surprise me that this is a route. Like I think I called it like all the way back in like issue 1. So that's what they did.
It's because it's really like an extreme process, right? It's quite a powerful process. You don't typically expect Hydra, like a bad, like an evil organization, to have such a powerful tool where they can actually speed up the process.
Oh, I do. I 100% expect Hydra to have weird shit like that. I mean, considering what Jess's origins,
Yeah.
I'm not surprised by it at all, because considering what Jess's origins are, and they kept her in stasis,
Yeah.
and look at what they've done to the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
No, this does not surprise me that they have,
But this-
and they fuddled about with trying to. Yeah, no, it does not surprise me at all
Yeah.
that Hydra has this technology. I am not. When it comes to Hydra and weird, crazy shit, I'm not surprised by any of it. Not at all. I'm not surprised in the least.
Fair enough. But I mean, this is like such an accelerated or extreme version, more of an extreme version, right? Rather like Jess was in stasis, and what did they do? Did they accelerate her aging? I can't remember. I thought she was just in stasis, and
she was in stasis, and then
she woke up years later.
With
right?
her, she was very sick though.
Yeah.
So with her, they slowed her. I think they kind of slowed her down. So she, depending on how you look at it, she could have been stasis in 10 years, or she could have been in stasis 30 years. No one really knows.
Okay.
Depending on which canon you're going for.
Yeah.
But with Jess, I think they slowed it down so she aged more slowly. So even if she was like,
right.
So she aged more slowly. So she was, because when she came out of that pod, she was only 17 years old.
That's right. But she was fully grown, right? But she had the mind of a 17-year-old.
She went in as a kid.
Yes.
She was definitely a child when she went in, but she came out as a teenager.
Yes. Right. Yeah. See, I always assumed I've got my origins all muddled up. I also just assumed that was she was in stasis, so literally 17 years or whatever had passed, 10 years or whatever had passed, and she had
she went in at like the age of 8 or 9 or 10.
Yeah. And
then in the original origin, she was that way for decades with the High Evolutionary. In the Bendis version, it was about 10-ish years. Like she was like 7 or 8, and she came out. She was 17.
Yep.
But her she was still mentally like in the Bendis version. She came out at 17, but she was still mentally like
a little kid.
8.
Yeah.
And she had a lot of like forced growing up to do.
Yeah.
It sounds like they did something similar to Gerry, but instead of slowing Gerry down because he was otherwise healthy, he wasn't sick like Jess was. They accelerated him.
They accelerated him big time. Like we're talking 20 odd years, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how old he is here.
No,
That's
I
a
don't
question
know.
I would like to ask Steve Fox.
Yeah.
He could be about Jessica's age when Jess.
Yeah, you're right.
He could be
a young teenager.
But he had to do. And I'm sure there was a lot of education in that stasis pod because Jess was educated, like in the original version.
Yeah.
They did educate Jess while she was in stasis, like mentally. Clearly, that did not quite all happen in the Bendis version, but I wouldn't be surprised if they found a way to educate Gerry, like super educate Gerry and brainwash him appropriately while they were doing that.
Well, whatever.
Appropriately, I say appropriately for them, but you know what I mean.
Oh, look, and whatever it is that they did, they've done it well because he really doesn't like his mum.
No.
At all. It is quite sad and shocking that he's acting so kind of callous towards her.
And you could see it in the dialogue how brainwashed he truly is, like and how against Jess he truly is, like how it's just what he's spewing makes no sense, but it makes perfect sense to him.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a gripe against her in this page that we're looking at, saying
ways,
sorry.
Yeah.
Well,
he was found alone. They're not wrong about that.
Yeah.
But they just feed that feeling. They just feed you on feelings of abandonment and everything.
Yes.
I mean, he's his mom's son, so he's probably got a lot of Jess's hangups in
Mm.
some ways, but also probably a lot of her strengths. But they Hydra is master manipulators and brainwashers,
Yeah.
so they know how to fuck up somebody's
Yeah.
thought process.
And I must say, like, for again, drawing back into this is a gang war tie-in. I love how kind of self-contained this is. Like, this is really a Spider-Woman story. You know,
Yeah.
apart from the odd appearance of Diamondback, and he's on the front cover. I mean, it's really by the by that it is a gang
Yeah.
war tie-in. So, yeah, I really thank Steve Fox and editorial for being able to do that. Gang War's okay. It's just that it's really good to get Hydra stuff again. I really enjoy it.
Yep.
With Jess, of course. So, yeah, Gerry is just just all out. I mean, he actually reveals a couple of things here. There's a panel where he reveals indirectly to Diamondback that Hydra are kind of just using him, using
Yeah.
Diamondback and his gang. It's like, and they mean nothing to Hydra.
Yeah.
So Diamondback's gonna hold up now.
Yeah.
That was
He's
pretty
like,
funny.
oh shit. He got played for a fool.
Yeah, and you don't want to piss off any gangsters. So,
No.
yeah, but Jess is constantly pleading. Like, so the majority of this issue is really this mother-son interaction, played out through a fight and through, I guess, in between, Diamondback wanting to. He gets the shits. Let's face it, and he wants to take on Gerry now after Gerry
Yep.
reveals it. So he
Yeah.
pushes Jess out the way. He kind of hulks out with his Diamondback drugs.
Yeah.
What is it? The growth hormones, GH.
Yeah, whatever it's called.
Yeah. We get also Madame Webb in here, which is pretty
Yep.
cool. I love that.
I do like Julia as Madame Webb. I think that was a good move by Marvel, actually.
Yeah, I had to laugh at I don't know who these eggheads are, but turtlenecks, sunnies, shades. That looks so funny. But also, Seren, we do get the arrival of BFF.
Yeah, I'm always happy
Carol.
when Carol and Jess team up and show up, and yeah,
Yeah,
I really love Jess or Carol's new outfit.
and
I
the
think
way
Jen
that
Bartel designed it.
yeah,
I dig it.
and just the way that she does her hair as well. Like in the
Yeah,
is it the plait? You call it plaits or
it's a
braids?
braid.
A
I call it a
braid, a
braid.
braid. Yeah.
I call it a braid. Yeah,
But
but I love it.
very practical. She looks heaps different because of it. But just it's cool with her other.
Kudos to Steve Fox for knowing what the Spider-Woman fans want, and we want that Carol and Jess friendship. And also, the
Yeah.
Carol fans want the Carol and Jess. The Carol fans want the Carol and Jess friendship. So whenever it shows up in either comic, people eat that shit up, and they know it.
Oh,
I
exactly.
love the Carol and Jess friendship. If you ship it or not, I ship it hard. But
That's
I
good,
just
yeah.
love it when they show up. The two of them show up, and it's like my favorite thing, and it makes any comic for me. So
Yeah.
you know,
No, it is.
Steve Fox knows his audience.
Yeah, look, I had comments in issue 1, about their interaction, and I've got to say, this issue and issue 5 as well, I think was a lot more organic for me. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed seeing Carol. So I think it might be Steve Fox just warming into it. Just my opinion. But
Yep.
yeah, but having Carol in here, we've also got she's part of the cavalry, so we get Nightshade, which is pretty cool, and also is that Hazmat? Oh, no, it's the sorry, it's the niece.
That's her.
The niece of Nightshade, I think.
Oh yeah, isn't that the one chief that's been teaming around with her and her? I have not read the Carol
Yes,
comic, guys. I'm
yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know her name, but yeah, she's.
I will give you my opinion on the Hazmat relationship with Carol.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like Jess is more Hazmat's mentor than Carol
Yeah,
is.
I know.
And that's all I'm gonna say on that.
Yes.
Anyway.
More suited for sure.
Yep.
So Carol and the cavalry come in. I mean, Diamondback's looking pretty big, looking pretty grotesque.
Oh yeah, look at his face there.
Yeah, he got
wow,
scratched or something. Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Oof.
Nothing
Nice.
too good there. His pupils are dilating. Yeah. So then we get the action, but it all kind of culminates with with Gerry getting injured. I won't say mortally. He just gets injured.
Yep,
I didn't get
he
it.
gets.
It was stabbed, right? He got stabbed at the back.
Yeah, something
I
happened,
didn't
and
really,
Jess.
yeah, I didn't really get it. It was a schlick, and there's a panel of him with blood coming. So it's like stabbed from
Yeah,
behind, but it was a bit
or
unclear.
or he got a gunshot wound.
Yeah, but yeah, true. But it was a little bit random, I thought.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the only kind of little bit of confusion. I thought maybe art
Oh,
wise,
back a panel from that page.
yeah, maybe art wise, or some sort of direction to lead us to know what's happening. He got thrown,
Yeah.
right? So he threw
Yeah,
maybe,
he got thrown,
and he
and
thrown onto
then
a lead pipe or something. I don't know.
yeah, I
That's what
don't
I
know, but
yeah.
Jess obviously went into mom mode there to protect her
Yeah.
son, and
Diamondback's looking and Jess gets mad at him.
oh, I Jess has a temper, man. I love it when Jess gets mad.
I love it when she
Um,
punches with a venom blast. I think that's pretty cool. I love it.
yeah.
Uh,
Um,
but yeah, and she actually hurts him. Like this guy's under
yeah.
drugs. He goes, "Oh, that actually hurts," but he's still kind of trying to get her. But Gerry again, he stands up again. The depiction of it, it's almost as if I thought him taking himself off that pipe, or is it
Yeah.
him just standing up? It was a little bit vague, so I thought maybe that could have been
Yeah.
done a little bit better. But other than that, the art, I love the way Jess looks. Like and Carol, they look really
Yeah.
good. And I've got to say Diamondback as well. He looks, yeah.
Yeah, this page was really good though because Gerry saved his mama.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. It was really good. So it shows a little bit of some sort of redemption.
yeah, he says it's not, but
No.
he says it's,
Well, actions speak louder. He's done
Yeah.
something there. Yeah, don't mistake this for sympathy. He says Diamondback proved Hydra's faith in him. Okay, well, he's just using that as an excuse that he got Diamondback,
Yeah.
but you reckon deep down. But
Yeah.
the big thing is he falls off, and I love this little scene. Just take my hand, just a close up. Like Jess is so close, she's trying to connect with him, like literally, physically, and like relationship wise.
Yep.
But he prefers to fall into the water.
Yep.
And Carol has no idea who this guy is.
Carol.
Just a goon, so.
Yep. And she's surprised that like Jess is gonna.
Yeah. Really beautiful art there. Look, I love Carol catching Jess.
Yeah.
Just the.
It's kind of reminiscent of in some ways it's a bit reminiscent of when Jess fished Carol out of the San Francisco Bay.
Oh.
It's a little bit reminiscent to me. So now Carol can save Jess from falling in.
Yeah.
Not that Jess doesn't know how to swim, but
yeah, exactly.
Carol's gonna Carol, and she loves her Jess. So
yes. Yeah, no, actually, you're right. Yeah, I think when I first read this, I was under the impression Jess was injured. So Carol's like, no, don't go in. But yeah.
Oh no, she's definitely injured. Jess is like probably in no shape to be swimming, injured in cold water.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like a little. It seems to me like a little bit of a throwback to that moment.
No, that's a nice little Easter egg. But yes, so Jess keeps the guys up that it was just someone, no one special, and yeah, we get the baddies kind of all rounded up.
Yep.
Yes, and this is where
I love this page.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, oh my god, you would have to fall into a heap, wouldn't you? What just happened to Jess?
And Jess. Actually, I'm very proud of Jess in this moment because typically Jess does not reach out for anyone when she is in emotional turmoil. And her reaching out for Carol and just like holding on to Carol.
Yeah.
Like even Carol looks surprised because this is not
what she does,
Jess.
right? Yeah.
No, it's not. And I actually really think this is a beautiful moment and probably one of my favorite moments.
Yeah.
So
it kind of leads into like the second issue that
I actually really want this page.
Yeah, that middle panel.
Carol Borelli, if you sell it, I want it.
That middle panel is awesome. Like Carol's face expression, facial expression just looks really good. And it as I was about to say, it kind of leans into the next issue that we talk about, where, I guess Carol can, she can kind of read Jess, and in the second issue, the other issue, Jess says something along the lines of she has got.
Well, we'll talk about it when we get to it.
Yeah.
Jumping ahead a little. I'm the queen of jumping ahead, but
but yeah, no, this was a really good moment. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed this issue, the interaction with Gerry. I think it was really well done by Steve Fox. I mean,
mhm.
considering the big reveal, in the issue before, you have to back it
Yeah.
up with this relationship between the two, and I think he kind of highlighted it really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you get a little bit of an epilogue at the end. Oh, it's only one page.
Yeah,
Uh,
but Madame Mask is always badass, so,
oh,
I'm
she
always
is.
down.
Yeah, she is
Yeah.
full on badass in gang war. Like she beats Hammerhead to like an inch of his life.
Good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, it was
I love Madame Mask. She's probably one of my favorite baddies.
yeah.
She
Well,
was a lot of fun in West Coast Avengers with
yeah. Oh, she's dangerous. Oh,
yeah,
Kelly
she's
Thompson.
just
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, but Kelly Thompson,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
I'm sorry, I really love Madame Mask. She's
it
one of my
was
favorite
it
villains.
was such a good reveal, Saren.
Mhm.
Because it's spoilers because it's happened ages ago.
That's
But
fine. I haven't read the rest of Gang Wars, so spoil away.
yeah, oh no, well, it's just in the lead up to like gang war and through it, you have Hammerhead, and he has this like this woman next to him that he's kind of she's hanging off him and stuff, and like very
Uh-huh.
stereotypical. Anyway, there's a scene where they're together and he's kind of being, typical abusive towards her. It's Madame
Right.
Mask. It's actually her. And then
Oh shit.
so she at this point just surprises him, and like it's a really shocking, I think it's like beat him, she stabbed him, and like you're
Oh
going, oh
shit.
my God. And then she puts on the mask and you go, oh gosh, it was Madame Mask. And this woman who's been this
Holy shit.
nameless lady for the last few issues just hanging off Hammerhead was Madame Mask the whole time. And it's just really cool. It was really good.
Oh shit.
Yeah, really good reveal, I thought. But she's a really big player in gang war. She's really taking up a lot of the territory, and her and the daughter of Tombstone, Beetle, the new
Yes.
Beetle, they're kind of vying for territory. Madame Mask kind of wants it all. So she's a really big player. It's really good. Um,
Very cool.
so I'd love to see Jess take on Madame Mask. I just want.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So a little interlude of that, and then we get kind of just coming to terms with what has just happened,
Yeah.
and the next stage of grief.
Right.
Grief. I guess she gets angry. So
Yeah.
uh,
This was a heavy issue because
yeah.
when I first read it, I was really down
Mm,
for like a week. I was so bummed out after this issue.
yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, I don't think it was a bad issue, but it did a number on me emotionally that I wasn't expecting, even though
Yeah.
I knew and I was prepared for the outcome because I called what was going to happen.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to happen. I was right. But I was legitimately bummed.
Yeah.
Like, so fucking bummed emotionally for like weeks after this issue. And I was like, damn,
Yep.
that really sucks.
Really hit
And
you
I was
hard.
just
Yeah.
it hit me
Mm.
harder than I expected, even though I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And well done, Steve Fox. I was
Yeah.
mad at you. I knew it was coming, but I was still mad at you for what you did because I loved Jess being a mom, but there are other people who are actually very happy about this outcome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
was legit bummed, and I was like, "Oh, I don't like this." And it's not that I don't like it. I
Mm.
actually do like it. Like now that we've gone through it a second time, like this is a really good issue.
Yeah.
But also, I was really wrecked. I was like,
Yeah.
"Shit!" It wrecked me hard.
Yes.
I was very surprised by it. I was like, I knew it was coming, and I was just surprised, despite the fact that I knew it was coming, that I was as upset as I was about it.
I mean, she's gone through so much. I think, yeah, absolutely. You know it coming, and you see it coming. But even going right back to the first issue, with the fact that when Jess disappeared, like Gerry got wiped out of everyone's memory, like that is awful.
Yeah.
That is, I mean,
Yeah.
and just knowing that, that's just
Like
awful.
how do you, because with all the gaslighting, right, Jessica has had in her life.
Yeah.
If she goes to people who don't remember her son.
Yeah.
And she says, I had a son, people are going to think and Jess already has people who think she's a little like off kilter anyway.
Yeah.
Like they're like, there's something not right with that girl. And then on top of that, you come back and you know for sure that you had this kid. And everyone goes, "What are you talking about?" It's like that is, and Jess, who has been gaslighted like her entire life,
Yeah.
like to have that, it's that's rough. I can't blame her for not really saying anything to anyone because until she finally admitted it to Julia, because then Julia like validated her. Thank God.
Yeah.
Because even if Julia backed her up on that, like backed up on that, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like I think Jess would have gone back to being a villain, man.
yeah. Well, it's one bad day, isn't that what they say? You know.
Yep.
Um,
Jess has had a lot of bad days.
And it's interesting points there that you make, Seren, because that does really, again, will lead it into the next issue. I love the little parallel. We'll get to it with, who Jess comes across. But before we get into that, just, last couple of things. I love the little touch there at the end where there's a reflection of the ripples of Jess and a little boy, mother and child, or
boy.
parent and child. Just it's really sad sort of stuff. But she only knows how to deal with it one way, and she's steeling herself in that last panel again when she's just right. I'm going to just tear through them. I really love that strength of Jessica, which we've seen time and again. Seren, what would you give kind of this issue out of 5?
If you had asked me after I first read it, it would have been really low because I was so sad.
Yeah.
I will give it a 4.
4, yeah.
Because I'm still sad, but it's a lot higher than what I would have given it after I first read it. That's how sad
well,
I was.
It just shows how much of an impact it's had on you. So that's got to be high marks. Yeah, I would say 4.5 for me. Steve Fox really just dove into.
He did really well.
Yeah, the dialogue and everything, and he actually balanced some really cool just action. We always expect an action scene or something in comic books because it's superheroes, and it was just pretty cool. I mean, having Diamondback going, okay, enough of this family shit. Let's get on with it. And then you have Carol come in, so some really nice cameos. But again, if this is the first issue of you ever picking up a Spider-Woman, that you kind of get a sense of Jessica. I mean, this is her. She's like perpetually just battered with tragedy and stuff. So yeah, really well done. I think it was really.
I mean, what superheroes aren't? But I feel like Jess gets a bit more wumped on than some of the others do. And
I don't want to take anything away from the others, but just seems darker. Like just emotionally heavier. Yeah.
Somebody shared a panel from Gang War with me of a moment between Jess and a Elektra Daredevil.
Oh yeah.
And Elektra's like, "You fight mean. I like that. Call me sometime." And Jess is like, "I might take you up on that." Yeah. So I'm waiting for my Elektra and Jessica Drew team up.
That would be so cool.
I ship Spider-Woman and Daredevil, but I was shipping Jess with Matt Murdock.
Yeah.
I'm a hot mess ship, but I am here for Elektra Jess if that ever would happen.
Technically, that's Daredevil as well. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I ship Jess with both Daredevils now.
Yeah.
Because that's a team up that would be hella fun to see.
That would be awesome. So, I mean, God, Elektra is an awesome fighter. Like,
And what's really funny is that, you could say that Jess and Elektra know each other, but they really don't because they were both replaced by Skrulls.
Well, they've got that. They've got that, haven't they? Yeah. That's what I always liken the two together. Like, there's that common thread with them. So, yeah, but that would be awesome. Yeah. Like, I like Elektra. Like, she's been done really well the last few years. I've got to say, like, they've really developed her.
Thank you, Chip Zdarsky.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. He's done.
That Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil run's fucking amazing. If you haven't read it, you need to. It's one of the best Daredevil runs. Although I hear Saladin Ahmed's on it right now, and
it's very good. It is very good.
That's what I heard. Yeah. When we were doing Attilan Rising, we had him on because he was writing Black Bolt, and he knows his shit. I love him. He's a great dude.
Oh no, he's great.
So great writer.
So, he did. Yeah, the Black Bolt series was awesome. My God,
it was amazing. That was such a good series. Him and Christian Ward.
Like
you get when you get certain writers. So there are certain writer artist combinations.
Yes.
that are amazing. So you have Carla and Para, because whenever the two of them team up, you're going to have an amazing comic book.
Yes.
When you
Oh,
get
yeah.
Chris Samnee and
Mark
Wade
Wade,
and
yes.
Matt Wilson together, you're going to get a great comic.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you got Ahmed and Kristen Ward together, you're going to get a great comic. So
It's really good.
You know.
I think he did really well for Absorbing Man, Crusher Creel, and Titania.
Yeah.
That was really cool. Like,
what a
it actually
great comic.
actually gave them some depth, which was, you didn't expect.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you haven't read Black Bolt by Saladin Ahmed,
you
should go read it, because it won an Eisner for a reason.
Yes. And pick up the Daredevil as well. That's very good.
Yes.
So moving Seren along to issue 5 now. So this was kind of like,
this was like a palate cleanser after the heavier issue 4, because whew,
yeah,
issue 4. This was a nice little palate cleanser. I have no idea who Bailey Briggs is, but he's cute.
It's it's really weird. It's such an odd pairing. But sorry.
So correct me if I'm wrong here. Before we get into this, Spider-Boy was not actually a Marvel property for a long time. Wasn't it somebody else who had that name? And then it was only recently that Marvel was able to use it.
Oh, I don't know the back history. No, I have no idea.
Because I was under the impression, because there have been questions in the past when I first got into comics. There's like, there's a Spider-Girl, there's a Spider-Man, there's Spider-Woman, where's Spider-Boy?
Right.
And I was under the impression Marvel never had one because they couldn't.
Yes.
Because somebody else had it. But it seems like they were able to acquire the rights to Spider-Boy. And now we have Bailey.
If that is the case, then I love this pairing then, because then there is some synergy between the two characters and their origins.
Right?
Yeah. So that's pretty funny. But also, as I alluded to, we'll get to it, there's some really nice parallels between Spider-Boy and Gerry, in some ways.
Yeah.
So I thought
just adopt this kid and make him your new child. It's great. Just leave it at that.
Yeah,
take him with you to San Francisco.
He's funny. He's got his own series as well. I don't know. The jury's still out for me about him. Maybe I'll just learn to love him a bit more a bit later. He's pretty cool, but yeah, I don't know. He just popped out of nowhere, and he's got I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, he's in here, issue 5, and as you said, Seren, it is a palate cleanser. This is not gang war related. We've now moved past that. This is called Sunday in the Park with Jess, which is pretty cool actually. I didn't realize that was a title until I've just turned this page.
I actually don't recall them putting issue titles in the series.
Yeah, me
this
too.
is the first time I've seen that. Interesting.
Yeah, I like actually the way that this is laid out. Like, we've just got the strip of it's like red and yellow.
That's the Stephanie Hans cover from the previous issue.
It's beautiful.
I commissioned her one year from NYCC, so I do have a Spider-Woman commission from Stephanie Hans, and
nice.
One of my favorite pieces of art ever.
Lovely.
Yeah. So let's get into this. Yes. Writer Steve Fox, artist Carola Borelli, colorist was Arif Prianto, letter is VC's Joe Sabino, sorry. Leno Francis Yu and Sunny Go as our cover artists. We have a variant by Mirka Andolfo, and I don't know if I got that.
Oh, you were loving that, right? I remember.
Yeah, I need to get the Mirka Andolfo variant. Yeah. Oh no, I need to go to my comic shop.
I'm sure they'll take care of
it's probably sold out, but I'm gonna work on it. And then I can't read the bottom row, and that's saying something because I have new glasses. So I see Carlos Lau, Mr. Daniel, Ellie. Oh, these are all the editors.
Yes.
And C.B. Cebulski.
Yeah.
I can't see what it says. Oh, designed for Carlos Lau. Is that what it says? I don't know. That's really small. I can't zoom in on it. That is very small. And my new glasses have failed me, but
look. I think we've got all the major players there, Seren. So again, this is a new, spoilers we have here. It is a palette cleanser. It opens up really actually overall, I'm gonna consciously try not to just go through the pages, Seren. Well, let's kind of summarize it.
Yeah.
In the fact that Jess has she opens up to Carol in the park. They have a good chat before she bumps into Bailey. There are some shenanigans with I can't remember.
Shenanigans is a great word.
With I can't remember the name of the villain, but it was pretty funny and dorky.
Oh, it was
What was it?
No, it was Screwball.
Screwball, yeah. So pretty funny, I thought, and that kind of suited the tone with Spider-Boy. But we do get some parallels with actually a weird take, big spoiler, a big reveal. Bailey remembers Gerry.
Yes.
Weird.
Yeah, that's weird that Bailey remembers Gerry. And also the flashbacks are Jess's old suit, which I also find interesting.
Yeah.
Her Anka suit. So we get both suits. Also, shout out to, I don't know whose direction it was to give Jess this jacket.
Yeah.
But there's a very popular, there's this very popular page from Bendis's Avengers where Jess is wearing Carol's aviator jacket.
Ah.
And I think this is a throwback to it, but Carol just says, "Oh, I just bought this." No, you didn't, girl. That's Carol's jacket. Just say it. It's Carol's jacket. In my head and in my heart, Jess did not buy that jacket. It's Carol's jacket.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That is, again, that I like that. I'd pay that. Yeah.
It's so funny how good that leather jacket, the leather jackets look with Jess's suit. I've always liked it.
I like heroes wearing just light jackets. You know, I'm from the 90s, the Avengers bomber jacket kind of era.
Yeah.
I love that.
And yeah, me too. And Jess says she bought it. She didn't buy it. That's Carol's.
That's
in
Carol's,
my head.
Yeah.
I refuse to say. I refuse to say she bought it. She says she bought it. She didn't. She took it from Carol. But this whole opening sequence between the two of them, I absolutely love it. It's
very cool. Like, it's just so down to earth. Like they're
and donuts,
chilling.
I love them.
Yeah, they've got some time now to actually decompress over a coffee and some donut holes, as they put it. But yeah, it just shows like she's opened up totally to Carol about it. Yeah, and so she tells her everything.
I love the two of them. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I went over it already. I said it already, but I cannot stress enough how much I love the two of them. And how far Jess has come to be, like, because Jess, again, she usually retreats into herself. We saw that at the start of the issue, at the start of the series, Jess was very, like, Carol was trying to find her, right?
Yeah.
And now Carol's found her. And now that Carol has found her, Jess has finally opened up, and that's a lot of character growth for Jess, I think, to allow herself to be vulnerable, and not just, like, even with Carol, she tries not to be, and and she's always been more vulnerable with Carol, but I think this is the most open Jess has been with anyone since we've seen her introduced, except for maybe Lindsay.
Yeah.
But the most vulnerable Jess has been with anyone since,
I think,
she was invented.
I mean, like, she has been through a lot of really heavy stuff, but it just seems like with this Gerry thing, it kind of has reached a pinnacle, you know, and she just has to kind of let it out, and thankfully, you know, she's got a good friend in Carol to be able to do that. So this was really good, and as I mentioned before, I think the interactions work really well. I think the way Steve Fox writes it is really cool as well. There's a little bit of fun banter, you know, about the finding coffee late at night and donut holes.
Yeah.
I like the reference to Jed McKay's Avengers run. We've got the Vision calling. They've got something going on with Kang, which was the current storyline in the Avengers. So that's really cool. But Carol has to go off. And the fact that, of course, Jess understands, like, go. You know, thanks for listening, but I understand that you've got responsibilities. So she's very, they've both got a very good relationship. Then it kind of...
This is the healthiest relationship Jessica Drew has.
It is, isn't it? It is. Actually, in this panel here, I like it actually how her cowl is just around her neck. When she, it's pretty cool, just like a scarf.
That's also a throwback, I think, to the Avengers stuff. I can't remember if. Well, I think in the Carlo run, she's done it both ways, where she's used it as she's done it either way. You can she'll either pull it down because there's a hole up for the hair.
Yeah.
She'll either pull it down around her neck, or she'll pull it up like a headband.
Yeah, right. I haven't seen that often, but yeah.
It's happened a couple times. Like she's had it up as there was a scene, I think, in or it was a cover, like, where she's pulling it down over her face really hard.
Oh yeah. I've seen her pull it down.
Yeah. It's a really cool. And it's so funny. I have to laugh, and I know we talked about this during Carlo's run too. Is how, you know, Carol changes her outfit, and other superheroes will change their outfit, but whenever Jessica Drew does, there is a huge people get really mad. Like, they get mad with other heroes too, but I have never seen people get more mad than they do with Jessica, because that's how good her suit is.
I think so. I think it's iconic, right? So
it is iconic, but also, like, I still have my problems with the suit. and how some artists portray it.
Oh
But
yeah, of course. Yeah,
you know,
yeah. But I
um,
mean, it has to be kind of
my
similar.
favorite will always be the Anka motorcycle
Yeah,
champions.
yeah. But if you not that they are the same or anything, but like similar to like her agility and practicality, she's got to have like that kind of leotardish costume
Yeah,
like Spider-Man because he hasn't got any armor
right,
or anything like that. He's just wearing PJs. You know
right.
what I mean? Because
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
swinging and flipping. So yeah, all makes sense. Uh, I love this kind of reveal, the hero, what do we call it? Hero shot of Spider-Boy.
yeah.
Full page
Looks like
spread.
he's surfing on the drone. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, there's always a lightheartedness when he comes in because he's like a kid, like
Yeah,
and you don't like he's younger than the champions, right? He's meant to be
yeah.
young, like a kid.
He's like 9,
Yeah,
is what
yeah,
Jess says.
yeah. So you can't. Well, Jess didn't take him seriously to begin with, and I love how that kind of turns around eventually. Like um,
Yeah,
Steve Fox goes through those beats of you got you got weirdo fangs. You're just a kid. I don't really think you can do. But he gets her respect towards the end. Like, and she goes,
yeah.
"Oh,
And he always said that Jess was the cool one that stuck up for him.
yeah, yes, exactly.
Which I really love that moment because not only does he remember Gerry somehow,
Mm,
and help validate Jess that she's not crazy. She does have a
yes.
son and all that.
Hmm.
But also that he's like you get it.
Yeah,
Like it seems to me that what Bailey is implying here is that out of all, even more than Peter, Jess understands this kid
mm,
more than I think Peter does in some ways.
yeah,
Like Spidey has like adopted him and is like, you're not allowed to do these things because you're a kid.
yeah,
And Jess is like, you're a kid, you need to be in bed right now because
yeah.
obviously she's a mom.
That's right.
And but also she's like, you know, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, well, I think that's
Like she's got
I think that's a cool factor. Like for someone like Bailey, who's a little kid, to have someone that can that he can connect with, and they show
she's
that.
an adult that takes him seriously. And like
Yeah,
not that
yeah,
Peter doesn't, but I feel like she takes him more seriously than Peter does.
yeah. Well, I mean, with their initial interaction, Spider-Boy and Peter,
Yeah.
Spider-Man, was you saw it. Like Peter's going, like, "Who are you?" Like he was kind of saying, "Look, you're not my sidekick. Just stay out of trouble." And he wasn't giving him really the light of day. Whereas it,
Right.
it implies here that Jess has like tried to understand him a bit more, and you see it at the end of this
Yeah.
issue as well. She does understand him,
Yeah.
and that's probably she illustrates why he thinks that she's cool because she's able to do that. Um, but yeah, so
But also, he's probably got more in common. I think he's got more in common with Bailey than Spider-Man does. And this is what gets me.
yes, yep,
Because you have like Miles and Jess with their powers and things, or
mm,
Miles and Bailey's with their powers and things
hmm,
and their origins. And Bailey, especially, his origins are more similar to Jess's.
yep,
Whereas Miles has powers that are more similar to Jess's. And I sit there and go, you team these guys up with Spider-Man, but really,
hmm,
you guys need to do a Spider-Woman team up because I feel like Jess has more in common with them than Peter does.
mm. Well, yeah. So I mean, this issue, although initially seemed like a bit awkward of a team up, yeah, there are so many kind of similarities between the two. That
Yeah.
actually makes sense to have them. It's so weird because like Jess can be so intense, and then you have
Yeah.
Bailey, who's this just like light-hearted young kid who jumps around.
Mhm.
But I think it's really tempered well because Fox have them go up against like Screwball, a really kooky
Right.
like
Yeah.
threat.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really fun, and it allows them to talk while they bash drones.
Yeah. Typical Spidey banter.
Yeah,
Also, I love this page because Carol Borelli, you draw a cute kid. Like,
she
he's
does.
fucking adorable.
It
Look how adorable he
it
is.
doesn't look.
He's so cute.
Yeah.
He's the cutest little kid.
It doesn't look like a small adult, that some artists
No,
do.
like,
He
and
actually
that's
looks like
how,
a kid.
yeah, like, this is definitely like, yeah, exactly. Because there are some artists out there that cannot draw children, and when they
No.
attempt to, they're terrifying. But no, Carol Borelli knows how to draw a kid,
Yes.
and he looks like a kid, and good job.
I think it's really cool. Like Bailey, like his fangs, like they talk about his fangs. The scary thing is if you
Mhm.
look at Bailey's face there, like he's adorable, but he can produce these fangs and
Yeah.
these other eyes, right? So he's really quite monstrous. He can be quite monstrous. So
Yeah.
he's a weird mix, I think. But we get a sense of where he comes from. Again, the theme of it runs through. Like, oh yeah, I know you, Jess. Like you and I, we teamed up against the Red Heron, and Jess
Right.
doesn't recall it. She goes, "Look, oh great, we beat up a
Right.
bird." He goes, "No, it's a super villain. It's an arch villain." So he goes through, this Red Heron person, but they did their thing, and you can see Gerry in the in the
Yep.
shot as
You
well.
little baby.
Yeah. So Bailey definitely remembers. But yeah, this is where Bailey says, "Yeah, what was his name, Jimmy or Jamie?" And I love it how Carol and Borelli, you get Spider-Woman, but you can see the translucent. You have to show her
Yeah.
eyes, like to give that
Yeah.
shock. So you see
Yep.
a bit of that. Uh, and so she's, as you said, she gets validated through Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so, so I think that's the turning point for Jess as well, where she starts to really kind
Yeah.
of take Bailey seriously.
Yeah.
And then we get like, more threats. We get like almost a
Yeah.
Voltron, like the drones turn
Yes.
into, or the scrap
Yeah.
heaps turn into a huge, really cute looking robot, actually.
Yeah. It is really kind of cute. And I like how Bailey's like, yeah, this is my favorite one. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
And
exactly.
honestly, like just Gerry is Hydra now, so just adopt Bailey. He's your kid now.
Well, yeah, again, yeah, isn't that is the parallels, right? So
Yeah.
Gerry Gerry was forgotten, right? Like
Right.
and no one remembers
But Bailey,
Bailey.
I
Bailey Briggs.
wonder,
So yeah.
but I wonder if that's the crux of it.
Mm.
What if Bailey were to disappear again? Would everyone remember Gerry? Spider for a
Oh.
spider.
Yeah, because I haven't read his series, but what I know, it is a bit of a mystery how like no one remembers him. Like he's so convinced that, like the explanation would be that he's actually from an alternate universe, right? And he's found
Right.
himself in this universe, which could
Right.
probably then explain why he remembers Gerry, right? So maybe he didn't pop up until after Jess came back from the Web of Life and Destiny. Maybe, I don't know. He wasn't part of it. When everyone got mind wiped,
Right.
maybe he wasn't part of it. I don't know. So yeah, there are similarities, and as you're saying, Seren, he could be like the surrogate son almost as well.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm terrible to say that. It's really shitty of me to say that because I want Jess to have her baby boy back, but
No,
also I don't think it's ever going to happen.
yeah, but it kind of makes sense. I know where you're coming from. Like, so she's kind of lost someone, and it's almost just.
Which it probably wouldn't be healthy for either her or Bailey, truth be told.
No, but it's not like she's searching for it, or I don't think it's like
I'm not
it's not like she's wanting it to be an actual replacement, but it just he slots in, I guess, to that kind
yeah.
of thing.
Jess can have two sons. Let her have two. Let
two.
her get Gerry back, and then she can adopt Bailey too. Because quite frankly,
Yeah.
I'm gonna write Marvel. Be like, dear Marvel, please fix Gerry and let Jess also adopt Bailey, and she can have two sons.
Can you imagine the household? That would be funny. But yeah, the shenanigans, as I said, like Bailey's flipping around this drone,
Yeah.
mega drone, Screwball's, I don't even know what Screwball is actually wanting to get views, right? So
yeah, Screwball's a streamer.
Yeah,
and is streaming her villain fights. It was actually really fun.
it's a nice little.
All her talk about the algorithm.
Yeah,
I had to chuckle about it.
It's a little piss take, isn't it? On
Yeah.
just streamers and just in general, a little parody on it. So yeah, so just like they defeat the drone, and then just using her know-how, because she's experienced. She knows how to return to sender kind of thing, and kind of follow the
it's
trail.
a learning experience for Bailey. Look how this stuff goes. I really hope Bailey's like, Spider-Woman taught me all this cool shit.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Screwball. Here we go. Funny villain. I don't know. I've got to look up Screwball a bit more. Is she new? Have you come across Screwball before?
I feel like I've heard. It was funny because
it sounds familiar.
It sounds familiar. But I'm wondering if this is like a new iteration of Screwball.
Could be. Could be.
Because I feel like there's this one issue in Hallam's or Dennis Hopeless, in his Spider-Woman one, where Jess goes up against some like D-list villains, and Big Wheel was one, and I feel like Screwball was another, but it was a different Screwball.
Okay.
And that's where I feel like it's coming from.
Okay.
But I have to go back and read it.
Well, Spider Babies, anyone out there that this does ring a bell, let us know. Quick sticks, because even the uniform looks somehow familiar. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting, very interesting villain. I like the kookiness of it. She could come.
Yeah.
She could come out of a Kelly Thompson like book. Seriously. Yeah.
Yeah. She looks like she'd be a Kelly Thompson villain for sure.
Yeah. But anyway, so Jess and Bailey catch up to her. And there you go. You get to see Bailey's fangs. He actually he looks a lot more monstrous in some other iterations I've seen, but he can produce fangs, which is it shocked the hell out of Spidey when he first did it. It was pretty.
He's
funny.
a little ankle biter.
Yeah,
I love him.
Bite your ankle off. And I love this little talk, this chat here. Like Bailey says, we both can't spin webs, so I'm glad we have these cables, these cords to tie her up with. I like that. That was a little tongue in cheek.
Yeah, just adopt this kid. You have 2 sons now.
Yeah.
Jessica Drew has 2 sons now. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
Bailey is her child. I have deemed it. I have declared it.
Yeah.
See, it's Jessica Drew has 2 kids now.
Yeah, she should. I mean, because actually, I'm kind of warming even more to their kind of team up. See, I love it how, as you said, like she recognizes Bailey and she gives him the respect. She says thank you to him, to a little kid, and he actually doesn't know what to do with that. So, well, you're welcome. He doesn't know how to take that compliment. And she furthers that by saying, yeah, Then team up with you again. Far out. That was awesome.
Yeah.
So no wonder he thinks that she's cool. She's done, she talks to him really well. And then that is, as you said, Seren and the palette cleanser. And then we get Jess on the bike and a new adventure.
Heading out. San Francisco. I think it's about time the heroes go. She did say that it was Heroes Light somewhere in there, didn't she?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's been pretty quiet over there.
So it's always periodically they all go back to the West Coast. We had West Coast Avengers, which I'm wondering if she'll run into them or not.
That'd be cool.
We'll see. And then
yeah,
maybe Daredevil will go out that way too eventually, because there's like a cycle, like you have West Coast Avengers and then Daredevil, then Jess, and then West Coast Avengers and Daredevil, then Jess. So I'm assuming it's time for Jess to go west. So we were talking about it too during the Carla Pacheco run. She was going to go back to Madripoor with Lindsay, but
to fight Irish ninjas. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, she's been due for a.
Absolutely.
She's been due for a West Coast run for a while.
And it's good for her as well. I mean, after the events, to just get away from it all, just to try to start, because, she has lost Gerry. Like, he disappeared in the waters, and, of course, I think he's alive. He's going to be popping up somewhere. But it's just time to get out. And hopefully she's still got one eye on Hydra as well, because I want her to beat the hell out of them. But yeah, can't wait for the issue coming out very soon. So Seren, what would you give this issue then?
I really enjoyed this issue. I thought it was very sweet and a lot of fun. Yeah. So I gave it. I'm giving it a 4.5.
Oh, nice. Well, I think we've reversed, because I'm going to give it a 4. I think after we discussed it together, it kind of has gone up in my ranking as well, just because, just pointing out those bits between in the interaction. It's a lot more than just a filler for me. I think, I mean, it still is a filler. It's a transition, right, from Gang War to her new adventure. But by having Bailey there, it was a very smart move. I initially thought it was just a blatant kind of ad for Spider-Boy.
Oh, yeah, it surely was, 100%.
But, I mean, but it conveniently, whether they picked it or not, there's just so many parallels. Like, it's a very... adequate. Oh, not adequate. What I'm saying, it's a very well suited. He fits really well as a guest. So yeah, really enjoyed it. I'll give it a 4 out of 5. So, so listeners, that was the 2 issues, Seren. Very cool.
Yep. I like them. So the next issue, Spider-Woman number 6, is out on April 16th. That is
my
just a few
gosh.
days from now.
Yeah.
Is it the 16th or is it the
Oh, yeah.
17th? It's out on the 17th.
Okay.
So just a few days from now.
Awesome.
Unless I'm wrong, I'm gonna do a quick Google because I'm just gonna do a quick
We
Google
have
on
to,
that.
yeah. So by the time this comes out, it should still be on its way very shortly. Hopefully, I'll get this out before issue 6 comes out. But yeah, hopefully then Seren and I, we can tee up another time to chat about it. I'll try to drop in a discussion and spoiler thread in our social
Yep,
media
April
platforms.
17th. So it is
Lovely.
out this Wednesday. So
Excellent.
by the time you have this issue,
Yep.
you'll be talk to this, and then you'll be able to read Spider-Woman number 6, and we'll be back to talk about that.
Yeah, get you primed and ready to go. Seren, that I think that about wraps us for our
Oh,
episode.
we get a new penciler next issue.
That's right.
Big Guara.
That's right as well, which is a bit sad that Carol Borelli will. Oh, do we know it's a replacement, or is it just for the one issue? Or
I think he's replacing for
Okay.
the series. We're going right to Egg.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Yeah. So, it's a shame, but a good opportunity for another artist to show their wares. Be fun.
Yep. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah. Look, no feedback for this because Seren and I we kind of delayed, due to scheduling conflicts to get this out. So, but please drop in your thoughts on issues 4 and 5, and we can always read it in our next episode as well, Seren, right?
Yep. I'm
Yeah.
just looking forward to it.
Excellent.
And until next time.
To know her is to fear her. Catch you later.
If you'd like to contact us with your thoughts on Spider-Woman and her amazing series, you can drop us a line at spiderwomanpod@gmail.com. We are also on Facebook and Instagram. Just search for Spider-Woman Pod or To Know Her Is to Fear Her, a Spider-Woman podcast. Catch us on Twitter at Spider-Woman Daily or on Discord, Tumblr, and Podchaser. Look for all our links to our social platforms in the show notes.
We are also proud members of The Collective, a supergroup of podcasters dedicated to covering all the characters and news in comics and beyond. Search for #TheCollectiveNet on Twitter to see the latest on all the shows, or click on the link provided in our episodes to give you a list of who's part of The Collective. Finally, please consider giving us a rating on either Apple Podcasts or Podchaser. Whether it be to sing your praises or give us pointers on how to improve the show, any ratings will help cast our web further and potentially reach out to more spider babies out there.
Thank you so much for listening to our show. We really appreciate it. Stay tuned for our next upcoming episode. But until then, remember, to know her is to fear her.
Spider-Woman and affiliated characters, stories and events are properties of Marvel Characters Incorporated. Material used and discussed within the podcast are intended for critique and review purposes only, under the fair dealing concept of the current Copyright Act. The views, information or opinions expressed during the podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of the copyright owners.